Just doing a quick audio test. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Just doing a quick audio test. Testing 1 2 3. All right, that sounds pretty good. All right, so took a little bit longer of a break than I thought I would. Ate some lunch, took a nap, and fell asleep a little bit longer than I wanted. Just not feeling too great today. But yeah, we're back. We're ready to go. Get animating again, or at least designing. So where we left off was with this character. Something that I want to do first before I continue with this character is, for reference, what I'm going to do is bring in the other bird into this scene, or into this file. And I'm just going to use it to help me keep my line width, my style, everything very similar, because there's a certain style that I'm trying to achieve, and the more and more things that I bring in, or the further I go without making sure I'm following the style, the more work I'm just creating for myself. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that layer into here, paste it. All right, so we got our announcer bird and we got the silly bird. Just gonna move that over to the side. So the announcer, so he is technically going to be bigger than this bird. So I'm going to bring him up to scale as to how big I think he would be if they were side by side. Probably not that big. So maybe something like that. Again, he's going to be showing up on a TV screen, but I just want to make sure I get the line width and all that stuff the same when I get to that point. So to go ahead and continue with this bird, we did the head. We got the head pretty much down for the majority of the part, and then we're going to continue with the rest of it. I'm having trouble with the colors, so what I'll probably do is take some colors from this bird and kind of incorporate it into this bird as well for now, just to try to get a style down. And yeah, so we'll just keep on going from there. So again, as always, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask. And either if you're watching this now or in the future when this is not live, write down in the comments. That's totally fine. Jeremy M asked if I can explain my process as I go. Yeah, I can do that. I can totally do that. I'm just trying to save energy as well. But yeah, I can totally talk about what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So right now I am basically just kind of refining some things, just creating some texture details and things like that in his fur. So nothing too much right now. Just trying to. Right now, I'm just matching up the two styles of the two characters, and then from there, I'll start to change it because for some reason I'm kind of struggling with getting the styles correct. I'm looking at the head now that I'm taking a break and I'm coming back to it. I can see the head is definitely like misshapen. Oops. There's definitely a really weird shape to this head, so I'll work on fixing that. Maybe not making it so bulbous. Probably something like that, maybe. The hair, if I just take that out, let's see what that looks like. Kind of like it better, but I'll leave it in for now. But I might take the hair out completely. The arm I definitely need to work on. That's one of the biggest things. Both the back wing. So the first thing I'll do is I'll start trying to fix this wing a bit. Might need to, this is where I might need to pull up some more references for this bird here is with that wing. It's gonna be kind of difficult. I'll have to figure out the best way to go about it. If he was reporting, and if I wanted to, I could probably have his wing like hang down at his side. That could be an option. Like I don't really know what else he'd be doing. And with this, it just looks like he's got his arm cut off. So I might actually just give him another arm, have that hanging down at his side. Let's go ahead and let's start designing something up for like an arm. So if I bring down like that, kind of a big bird, he's kind of got big arms, or wings, I keep on saying arms, but take this point out, take that point and fix it. Give him I don't know, he almost kind of looks like a bouncer. Now he's gotten very big, it seems. But I think that might be okay. That might work. So let's just go in here and add some more little details. And yeah. So if you weren't here before, Jeremy, I'm not sure if you were, but what I'm gonna do is this bottom portion, this all is gonna be inside of a TV like frame. So let me just fix my TV real quick. Well, this isn't even the right TV, but these are gonna be going, well, this character is gonna be going inside of a frame. So right now his tail's hiding. That's fine. So he's gonna be kind of like this. What I'll do is I'll just move my camera to where it's actually going to be. There we go. So when I render this, that's what his character will be like. And then there'll be, oh gosh, I totally forgot about that. I was going to do like a title card and stuff for the dancing with the birds. Ooh, that's going to take a while. But yeah, so looking at this, it looks pretty good. The line width is going to need some fixing. Probably darker colors for the actual strokes. His hand, I really need to fix that hand. It's really kind of bothering me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Control, use my lasso tool, move that in further. I'm going to deselect that by holding down Alt. Move all the points in with my points tool. And yeah, I'll definitely need to work on that to get that looking better. Notorious Wolf asked, when will this animation be done? I don't know. I didn't expect myself to be like so out of it today. I'm just like kind of under the weather. I just don't feel good. I was hoping to knock out a good portion of it today and work on it tomorrow and hopefully be done with it by next week. But I was going to get the majority of all the work done. So the bird, the silly bird, for the most part, he's about 50% done with the animation. This, I got to rig the whole thing and then animate it, so it's got a while to go. So yeah, I really don't know how much longer I have, to be quite honest. But I'll just enjoy the process, no matter how long it is. I'll just make sure that I enjoy it, because it is fun. I'm just not feeling too great. So I think for the most part, we're kind of getting there as far as making this look a lot better. That's his thumb. Don't want to move that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it looks pretty good? I'm really easy to criticize myself and think things need to constantly be improved, but it's really for the viewers that are going to find it the most appealing. So, or whoever's watching the animation. Yeah, so I think we're in a pretty good spot. So the next thing I'll start working on is the mouth. Before I start working on any of the strokes and stuff, I'll just go back to working on the mouth. So I can kind of switch my focus here. So he's got his tail, which was pointless. I didn't even need to create his tail now that I have an arm in the way. So his tail, his leg. Okay, so all that's basically done. So that's his torso. I'm just going through really quick and I'm just seeing, so this is additional. Oh, his eyes. So his eyes, I was going to have as a smart bone. I wanted to give him some emotion. I wanted to kind of give him a more serious look. So what I'll do is I'll put eyebrows above his eyes. And I'm trying to think if I want to do two separate ones. So he's kind of got like the little cockeyed eyebrow thing going on, which I might do. So what I'm going to do for that, so the eyebrow, I'll just have right now, I'll just have kind of a block above his eye, and then I'll refine it as I go. But so I'm just going to create this block shape. I'll give it a stroke because it is going to come out over top of the eye part right there. So I'll give it a stroke. I'll take out the lines right here. I'll add one right there so that it goes back in. It's not going to be square like that, so I'm going to round it off. Don't want to have it popping out so far either. Let's see, let's just take that out. Oops. So kind of connect the back a little bit there. So the eyebrow, usually kind of as far as the shape of it, I think. Again, this is where anatomy comes into place. So even though we're doing like more of like human type of features, it helps to know your anatomy as well. But for right now, I'll kind of leave it as that because I'm still trying to figure out what to do. Oh, what I wanted to do as well with the mouth is I need to make sure all his other features are moving with his head. So I was gonna have a separate feature for his cheeks. That might be okay. I had a different idea in mind for that, but I will leave that be for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate his eyebrow. So I'm gonna create my second eyebrow. There we go. Again, this could be a little bit bigger. And I don't have to make it look so serious either. That's when I get into the smart bones, I can start moving things around a little bit better. So I'll just make sure I have enough points of things to move around. Trying to think. I need to look at some references. I'm kind of drawing a blank here. So let's see, what's some good references for cartoon eyebrows? I'll just search cartoon eyebrows for now because I can't really think of anything. Okay, so it connects back. So it's not necessarily the brow that I'm creating. I'm creating more like the bone. And his eyes, whoops, his eyes are spread apart pretty stinking far. So I think that's one of the first things I might need to fix is his eye. Now that I'm looking at it. His eyes probably could come in a lot closer. I don't know. Should have drew this out a lot better. So his eyes are like on the other side of his head. So this character, I don't really know. Yeah, I'll just keep working on it as I go. So let's fix his forehead part right there. Oops. I'm gonna hide his eyebrows really quick, and I'm just gonna move around his eyes a little bit. I'm gonna pull up some more. Let's see if we can get like some Pixar birds. Pixar bird. Or some Disney birds. Okay, so those guys have their eyes really close together, so that's not gonna help. I don't want to do that. What the heck is this? That's cool. I like that. That's kind of closer to what I'm trying to do. I don't even know what this is. Yellow bird. Interesting. So something like that type of character there would be something similar to what I'd like to do. So I don't want to make his eyes gigantic though. So that's the one thing. Let's see if I can get some references from Angry Bird. Ooh, that guy's kind of close to what I have. So his eyes are really close together. And then let's take a look at our reference again for the actual bird. Let's see where their eyes are. Okay, so they have a completely different skull shape, so that's not gonna really help for that one. Yeah, so their eyes are definitely set far apart inside of their head. Their skull is a lot more narrow than obviously these cartoon examples. This is just ball spheres on another sphere, meaning his body on eyeballs on top of the body. Yeah, I don't really like the design. I don't like that character design a lot. So yeah, as far as the eyeballs, I'll just have to figure something out. I'm not really gonna have that good of a reference, it looks like. But as far as his eye being right here, this one's way too far away. It'd be like more like here. And I don't know. I don't even know if that looks right. I'm just kind of moving things around for the moment. Just trying to see what's going to work best with this character. Okay, so let's bring the eyebrows in. Okay. It's not the eyebrow, it's more like the bone. So let me look at some more references really quick here. Let's just do human face. And just so I don't get any weird results, let's make sure my turn on safe search. There we go. That's really dumb. So I'm trying to look at like the eyebrow bone. Human 3/4. Let's pull up some character designs. Let's see if that gives me some ideas. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank. That and my anatomy. I'm just not that great with anatomy. It's one of the things I'm still learning. Here we go. All right, now we're getting somewhere. This is something I was looking for. Character design references. So I'm looking for a character that replaces an eyebrow with an actual, like, bone. Not a bone, but a, I can't think of the word. Oh, these are great. This is Aaron Blaze. I have his course, actually. Yeah, like that. So he's using a lot of the muscle. Let's see if I can find another one. Yeah, so I'm looking for something without eyebrows, but maybe I just need to add eyebrows. That might look better. Except the only thing is this character doesn't have eyebrows, so I just don't want to make it look too weird. Because I could, let's try this. I could just do the eyes, having a shape in the eyes themselves, like when he's like, I don't know, but you can't really see the emotions because there's so much darkness in all these colors. Yeah, so I'll just have to work on it. But that looks really weird as far as the shape that I'm getting right now. I know that's definitely not accurate at all. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do. But I'll have to come back to that. So let's go back to the mouth. Let's go ahead and make sure we got our mouth all set up right. So the mouth will at least get the what do you call it? Line widths and all that stuff. We'll get all that set up. Hey Dale, no worries. Just working away here. Took a little nap, got a little bit of rest, and hopping back into it now. So I'm just getting the face set up, getting ready to start on my other mouth rigs. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my references from the existing and start getting my line widths fixed and all of that. Probably need to take these points out. There we go. Okay. So just gonna go ahead and get started now. Take that point out. Curve this a little bit more. Whoops. Maybe not make that so dark. So let's bring it out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I need to add a point in there so I can kind of work with that. Maybe take that point out. Don't need that. Now the back, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the, so I can take out the stroke. There needs to be no stroke there. Oops. Stroke. Remove the stroke. There we go. I don't like my line work. I need to learn how to do that better. But for now, I think that looks okay. So I think the reason why it looks off is because everything else is still one line width, but let's do this. Since we're using basically the same colors right now, let's go ahead and grab that color. Let's reduce the line width of the mouth back there. Let's not make that. What you want to avoid too is what's called tangents. So this would be a tangent. This is two separate pieces, but it looks like one continuous piece. So what I can do is just move this over a little bit more, so it doesn't look like it's just flowing into one piece. And then I can bring the mouth down a little bit, fix the tongue. I need to give the tongue a stroke. Whoa. There we go. Reduce the stroke a lot for the tongue as well. It really doesn't need to have like any stroke. Okay. Tongue still looks really bad. So I will take out a lot of that stroke there. The color keeps changing again. It's changing again, which is really weird. Let's see. I don't know. I think maybe that darker color is actually better. I need that there, but maybe just make it less. Make that bigger. I need to match the stroke color for the mouth to the tongue. Do this. Nope, that looks dumb. Just move it back up. We'll fix all those. Probably move this back more. Actually, you know what? That does need to connect back together. What am I thinking? It's part of the mouth. Okay, so that looks okay. So this is going to be more like an A3. So this is going to be like the widest mouth shape. And then we'll reduce it from there. I'm really not liking his beak. It's not looking right. Can't tell if it's the lines or what. That's kind of messing it up. Let's take that point out. Oops. Yep, so just a lot of trial and error. I think his tongue's sticking out too far, so probably need to bring the tongue in a lot more. This is, what is this? Oh. Let's bring that out further. Oops. Come on. All right. Hey, Douglas, how's it going, man? Okay, I think that's okay for now, for that mouth. Let's go ahead, now that I kind of got that out of the way, feeling a little bit better about that, I'm going to start doing the shape of his head and stuff. So just going to go ahead and start tapering a lot of these rounded edges, make them look a little bit better. Maybe bring his arm up higher. Don't know yet. Let's move that frame out of the way for the moment. So that point doesn't need to be there. That point does not need to be there. So just go ahead and give him some heavier edges down here. This all in here can be thinned out a lot more, especially getting to this part right here, just so it's not so thick. Thin all this out. Move his arm out of the way. Oops. Where's the arm? This down here we can thicken up a little bit, have some heavier lines over here, thin this up. That doesn't need to be there. Oh, maybe it does. Okay, his arm. I cannot see my line because its head's in the way, so I'll hide his head. There we go. Does that need to be there? No, probably not. I can't see my Bezier. There we go. Whoops, where'd it go? There it is. Then into his arm, we'll kind of shrink all those strokes down a little bit. Hide this line. Make sure that this is straight. What is this going on? My my Bezier like disappeared on this. There we go. I just need to take this out. This point right here. I can just take that out. There we go. Okay. So that's looking okay. Bring back the arm again. Fix that line so it matches. There we go. Don't need that point. So we'll make this spot a little bit thicker. My anti-aliasing wasn't on. That's a huge... So if your anti-aliasing isn't on, you're going to see a lot of these like kind of jaggedy lines, but it's going to take that out once you have that on, which I didn't. So that made it a little bit harder too to see what this is actually supposed to be looking like in the preview mode. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Start curving this up, going into the fingers. I'll start thinning out these shapes a little bit. The shapes underneath, I want to thin out those, or the fingers. What is going on? That's really weird. Never seen that before. Kind of make them thicker underneath. This one's going to be a little bit thicker. I don't know why it's going into the two different shapes there. It shouldn't be doing that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I just want to make it look like this finger is overlapping the pinky, which hopefully it does. Fix that. Kind of shrink down the that finger a little bit more. Do some more curves in here. Whoops. This Bezier thing just does not work most of the time. Oops, I needed that. That's good in there. Reduce that a little bit more. Reduce it here. So that's looking a little bit better. The strokes are kind of starting to match up. I still need to add some highlights and stuff. But once I do, it'll start looking a little bit better. But that's looking pretty good. So right now I'm just going through and I'm just looking at my line width and stuff, just to make sure it looks pretty decent. And I don't think it looks too bad. Okay. Hi, time for fun cool. That's right. It is time for some fun cool. You can't get enough of fun cool. All right, so the next thing is the head. Oh, we did the head. I guess those is eyebrows. kind of make it heavier on this edge, thin it out a little bit there. Same thing here. Make it a little bit heavier to match the width on that side. I don't know. I'm really not liking those eyebrow things. So hopefully once we start animating them and they're moving around, it'll maybe look a little bit better. I'm not really entirely sure. Need to match that. There we go. But yeah, I try to avoid not going too thin, or else it does look really weird on the tapered edges. It gives it that Anime Studio Moho look again that I really try to avoid if I can. What I could probably do, I don't know. I'll just leave it as it is right now. I'll head back to the mouth. So now that we got that mouth out of the way, let's go ahead and let's duplicate it. And this is going to be called A2, as you can see there. We're going to go ahead and shrink it down a little bit. The top beak is always going to stay in the same spot because that's what's connected to the skull. It's the bottom, just like in the human mouth, your jowl that moves up and down. So same thing. So I'm just going to grab all of these pieces and I'm just going to move them up slightly. And I'm going to hide the A3 underneath so that that's no longer visible. And as it's moving up, I kind of want to move the beak up a little bit more. Come on, curve tool. Move the bottom part of his mouth that has a weird thick line on it. Take that out. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. This right here I think is too thick maybe. If not, I can try to curve it. There we go. That looks a little bit better. The tongue. Again, I'll just need a reference. So I'll turn that off really quick. I'll turn that back on. So the tongue, okay, is about here. So we'll go from there to there. It's not quite dramatic enough. Might need to move it up higher. So let's do that. So I actually didn't move it up high enough. I need to go way higher. So I'm going to move it up closer to about there. This I will shrink down a little bit more so it's not so thick. This will still be kind of towards the back of the mouth. Need to move all this up. Whoops, whoops, whoops. There we go. Right about there. The tongue, I'm going to go ahead and just move that down. All the pieces inside the tongue, I just need to kind of move further down now. So what I'm doing just to move it down perfectly straight on the y-axis is just holding the shift key to constrain that movement as I'm moving it down. I'll probably take out that point. There we go. And on a weird tool where it won't change back. There we go. What is this? This is the mouth. So the stroke is a little off too, so I can probably turn that down a little bit more. I don't like this little overhang, but this is what's actually on the bird. On its actual mouth. So there's 3, there's 2, 3, 2. Oh, I moved that quite a bit. That stroke, I don't like that stroke. It's very big right there. It works more better there, but there not so much. Fix this stroke. Maybe I can just get rid of that point. Yep. Looks a little bit better. Hi, I'm from Ukraine. It's 2:21 in KSA, but I can't miss all this. Well, I appreciate it, Murad. Thanks for joining. Got Ashraful from Bangladesh. Ashraful, it's good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Okay, cool. So let's just keep going with the mouth shape. I think we're on a pretty good roll now. We can start doing. We can do the closed mouth from here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get the closed mouth shape. So that's going to be the M, the B, and the P, I think. Yeah, so the M, B, and P. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to call this M, B, P. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on now. M, B, and P. And we're going to go ahead and just move this all the way up to his beak. Let's go ahead and let's turn the underlying layer off. Of all these points, again, I want to, oh shoot. I have to think of something really quick here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing an interpolation. So I'm just going to have to be testing this as I go to see if this is working properly. So the top of his mouth I need right there. This part was right about here. Again, I just want to make sure I'm moving all of the points to around the same spot. This point is going to go about here, but oh crap. All right, how am I going to do this? I need his mouth to close normally. Whoops. Come on. So, okay. I'll have to think of what to do for this. So I'm trying to just get his normal mouth shape. So that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and test this. I'm going to test to see how this this new feature works with the switches. So I'm going to create a switch. Do I want to create a switch yet? I'll just create a switch. So I'm going to convert this to a switch and let's just test it. So I'm going to use my switch section. I'm going to turn my interpolation on, interpolation sublayers on, apply. All right, so let's go from the, whoops, let's go from here. What's going on? Oh, I need to make them visible. Okay, maybe I need to go back. All right, so switch selection. There we go. So we got the ah. Moving up, we got the ah2. And moving there, we got the MPB. So let's see if this even works. Okay. So that's working. But the bottom isn't because I deleted a point. I took a point out. So that was stupid of me. So I took a point out of there, so it stopped working there. But this, hey, that works pretty good. That works pretty good to there. But this is popping because I deleted a point. But it's working from there because that deleted point. Okay, all right, I see how that works. I haven't really used, does anyone have too much experience with switch interpolation? I haven't really used it much myself. So it's kind of new to me, actually. I've done a lot of just like switch layers, just switches before this feature, and I've done smart bones. Those are the only two things I'm really familiar with. And yeah, I don't actually have, I've probably done like 5 or 6 animations that have been like a minute long that have had lip syncing as well. And so I've always done switch. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to make sure that this mouth has the same number of points as this mouth, or vice versa, that this mouth has the same number of points. Whoa, see, there it goes again. All right, so I need to undo all that. I need to take this out of switch layers or I'm just gonna get a lot of issues. Okay, so this mouth right here and this mouth right here. So there's 1, 2, 3. See, I took out that point. So I'm curious if I just add back a point into this mouth. I need to make sure I'm on frame 0. If I add back a point, if that will fix it. So right now what I'm doing, you guys, is I'm just testing this to make sure I understand exactly how these interpolations work. So again, I'm just going to test it with my switch selection. Make sure I'm on my mouth switch. All right, so I'm going from there to there to there. Okay, so I broke it. Somehow I broke the software apparently, because now it's going to crash. That's great. All right, so we'll load that back up. Yes, I want to recover that. Let's go ahead and call this announcer 8. Cool. Yep. We're all here to use this some Anime Studio. Yeah, and crashing. It hasn't actually with the 12.4 update. It's been really good. But I've heard with the switch selection tool, you will get quite a bit of crashing as well. So yeah, unfortunately, that's just going to be the case, I think, for some of these. All right, so let's try this again. So, all right, so it broke. So the switch layer, it broke, and it's probably going to crash again. Gosh dang it. No. So switch selection has some pretty big issues, it looks like. That's not the one. What's the one I just saved? 8. There we go. So I'm gonna delete all those switches. Hopefully it'll stop crashing. And I gotta redo the mouth one more time for A2 and the other ones. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use it as them as a reference. I wish you can convert a switch layer back to a normal folder, because switch layers are kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, group with selection? Does that? No, just puts it in another folder. Crap. All right, this might not be a big deal. So I'll just do group with selection, move it outside of there, back into the head, and delete that. There we go. I was afraid it might move stuff around all over the place, but it works out pretty okay. Yeah, that's true. I might just do that. It might be the switch selection window that's given me issues as well. That's a good point. So I need to redo. I do need to redo both of these mouths though. So I'm gonna duplicate this one, and I'm gonna call this A2 again. The one above it is just a reference. But I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna hide this. Okay. So I'm just gonna move this into position really quick. And that's tricky because now I have to think of, okay, how's this bird's mouth gonna open and close? Oops. I did that wrong. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. I have no idea what that goes to. That goes about the jaw area. Okay. Yeah, that's tricky. Because now I need to make a closed position. So I'm going to go ahead, and that's the one I was just working with, right? Yep. So A2. So that one, I'm just going to delete that because that has the messed up one. So I did A3, A2. Ooh, this is getting messy. And then I'm going to leave that one, but I'm going to duplicate this one and create M, B, P. Again, I'm going to save this. Make sure, just in case it crashes. All right, so let's go back to this mouth. So now I'm trying to get the same shape as this mouth. So I'm just going to move all the points up close to right there. Again, I don't really know how I'm going to do this. So this is going to go there. This is probably going to go there. That there. Oh, that worked out pretty good. All right, so, and that's where it's probably going to help most to have all of this kind of drawn out beforehand. So all you're doing is you're just matching your drawings. So now I'm going to delete the MBP before that. Okay. Oh, I got to move all the tongues and stuff. Hide that again. All right, so that's the original. A2. Just move that into place. Oops, that's coming up too high. And MBP. What is that shape? Oh, that's all of those. Gosh, what a mess. Whoa, why is this? What is up with that stroke? That looks terrible. I don't know if I like switch selection. I think it works for simple mouths, but not for freaking beaks. I think smart bones would have been a smarter idea, except I didn't know I'd be running into this issue. So I wouldn't have known either way, unfortunately. All right, so that's gonna go somewhere in there. I don't really care where this goes. It just needs to be hidden and kind of flow from the other mouth. All right. So now let's test it. So let's put all of these back into a switch layer. Let's go ahead and do one more save in case we crash and it saves itself as a JSON. And this is going to be called mouth. All right, so now we're going to do it the other way. We're not going to use the switch window. So I'll first start with MBP. I'll go to AH3. I'll go to AH2. I'll go back to AH or MBP. And let's just see what that does. Okay, so the reason why that's not working is because my interpolation is off. And if this doesn't work either, I'm not going to use interpolation, because I really don't like the way that it looks either. It feels like I'm going to have to adjust a lot of my timing. And crap. So that's another mistake. So I also have to be cautious of my actual mouth shapes. So if I go from here to here, that tongue, you really can't just place it anywhere like I thought I could. Eesh, I don't like the way that looks. So I'm not going to do interpolation. So therefore I can take out points and put points in and stuff. I'm not going to use interpolation because I think it looks pretty good for this guy. So I don't think it's going to be necessary for the announcer. I'll have to work on that a lot in my own time as far as figuring how those go, and then make a tutorial on it so people don't struggle with it as much as I do. Monquiki, I don't know how to say your name, says Anime Studio is great to be honest. I have been animating with it forever and there really are no limits. I recently did a Harry Potter animation. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I really like it too. Okay, again, my anti-aliasing is off. Didn't notice that again. All right, so let's fix his mouth. So now that we have a resting position, let's fix his actual mouth, especially because now we don't care about how many points we have. So I'm gonna delete all those and create one more. Take out the width in one of these 2 points. Well, there we go. I don't like the way that looks, but we'll keep moving forward. We'll just keep moving forward. Don't know what's going on here, so let's fix that mess. All right, A2. Oh, we just got a weird, oh, that's right. We deleted that. So let's just delete that again. Let's fix that there. Fix that there. There we go. All right, so let's just keep going. I keep on getting stuck on little things here. So MVP is done. So then we got N and D. N, D, 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 N, N, N. N and D is going to be the same thing. Let's see, what was the script again? I don't recall. I'm going to pull up the script real quick. What am I doing? Script. Next up on dancing. I guess when you do a D, your tongue goes down. Duh. Dancing. Next up on but the placement of your tongue is the same. Next up on dancing. I'm also trying to figure out like how wide you'd have it. So I'm gonna pick one of these mouth shapes, and I think this is the best one for the D. So I'm just going to dancing. I'm gonna do it a little bit smaller so that when it goes to the A2, it's a little bit wider. So just go ahead and grab all of those points, move those up, fix the tongue so that it's more so on the, yes, it's gonna be tricky. Dancing, I don't know if that's gonna be visible. Let's try and, whoops, shrink down one of these points here. Shrink the back. There we go. Make sure this tongue is a lot flatter. I don't like this mouth. This mouth is already like giving me a lot of issues with these strokes and stuff. I usually do things flat because I usually have issues with strokes, but we'll figure it out. So this is going to be D, the dancing. Oh no, this was D and N, not the. Dancing. I don't know what I'm going to do with that mouth. That's like way too wide for anything. Got to fix the bottom part. I don't know if I made the bottom of his beak wide enough. Excuse me. If I had more time, things that I'd like to study. Anatomy, mouths. Well, just, okay, so anatomy. So basically anatomy. If I had more time in my life to get better at these things, the thing that I'd like to learn most is anatomy. So I could know how all this is working. So this tongue is too high on this one. So I'm going to go back to A2. I'm going to fix that. I want it inside of his mouth, not floating. Moon. You'll have to tell me how to pronounce your username. I don't know. Are you going to make a lip sync where the mouth actually moves and not just a switch layer where you switch your mouth poses? Wait, what? Are you going to make a lip sync where the mouth actually moves and not just a switch layer where you switch your mouth poses? I don't really know what that means, to be honest. I'm going to do basically what I did with the silly bird. It's going to be the fastest thing. If I had more time, I'd do a lot more experimentation with, like, oh, I think you meant like the cheeks and stuff. Yeah, I actually had that originally planned. So when his mouth is moving, other facial features are moving, but with that interpolation thing is what I was trying to achieve. I thought it would just make a lot more work, so I just wanted to reduce the amount of work, and now I'm at the point where I don't even want to use the interpolation. I don't think it's good for what I want right now. And I still like the switch layer look. It still looks decent to me. This beak at this position here looks really off to me. Same with just like where it lines up. It's actually really off as well. Of course, it doesn't show you the actual render. Whoa. What's going on there? I don't know. See, I can't. My my perspective is really off. I don't know how to do these beaks. Beaks are hard. They're a very weird shape. I don't know. I don't know if it works better if I bring that over. Oops. Oh my gosh, there's too many points. Show this again. Nope. If I bring this over and I give himself a little bit of more of a curve. I don't know. I can't really get beaks right, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a weird shape. I just need to make sure it flows. Yeah, see his mouth is, see that doesn't even work. So I just got to redo all of where it was. I don't know enough about bird anatomy to know what I'm doing, to be quite honest. Unfortunately. Yep. That's all right. In time. Okay, so we got the M, the B, the D, the Oz. Something still looks really off here. Let's see what else we got. N, D. Okay, so we did that. We did all the Oz. The TH. So the. Only thing I can think of is maybe the. I don't know. I can probably have the D as a TH as well. We'll just see how that works. So I'll just put TH right now because I don't know. So W. Oh, this is going to be a tricky one. So this one, for the W, I do a very cartoony looking thing. That I looked at from regular show. Like, I was like, what bird do they have that is cartoony? And so I looked at regular show, and it's just like a huge, like, Mordecai. It just has like this huge long beak, and then it's just the beak ends just go all the way to the very end, and it forms an O. It's very cartoony looking, so I don't know if I can achieve the same look, but I'll give it a go. So basically it's like all these points are deleted, and then these are connected, and let's see what else. This is deleted. I don't know why I gave it that color. It's kind of annoying. There we go. Bring these lines back in. However I can do that. Let's try that again. There we go. Oh. It's just a very weird angle. I can't get the angle right on this bird's beak. Jeez, what is going on? So delete that. Add the back of his mouth. Once I can grab that, put that in there. Let's see. Grab the color. Right color. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. All right, so I gotta look between the two shapes here. What? W. It's gonna go up a little bit. I don't like the way that looks. Man. It looks too cartoony. Like, I wanted to make it look cartoony, but not really cartoony. I don't know. I think that'll have to do. I can't really think of anything else to do for it. How do you make a bird say W? Or make a W sound? I don't even know if you can. They have beaks. They don't flex. So yeah, so that'll be like the first O. Or O, I'll just call it O1. Because what I want to do is probably like a O. Here, let's go back to the script. So next up on Dancing with the Birds, we. I think the we is tighter than an O. Yeah, it is. So we. Duplicate that layer. I'm going to call the tighter one is going to be O1. The little bit looser one is going to be O2. And so let's just kind of make this closer up with his mouth and everything. Make sure we got the parts out of the way. Probably just remove those. There we go. Also, if you guys find like good bird references for like mouth lip syncs and stuff, feel free to I don't know if you can put a link in the YouTube thing, but feel free to link it as well. I think I can like let it through. If you like link it, I can like let it through. I'm gonna do one more ah. I'm gonna do an ah one, and it's gonna be slightly closed. Everything's gonna be slightly higher up. But this is gonna be closer to about here. And I think that'll work out a little bit better. It doesn't look like he's smiling anymore, so let's still try to make it look smiley. Okay, so we got A1, A2, A3, O, O. It's maybe, gosh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It just looks weird. O, D, T, H, M, B, P. Okay, so I think I might have all of the lip syncing now. Thale says, if I were trying to make something like this, I'd block out the lip sync with layers and then draw in-betweens, but that may be really hard in Moho. Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't know if you've used the drawing tools, Dale, or if you tried to draw with like the frame by frame. It doesn't work, unfortunately. I've tried it. Maybe someone achieved something better. Maybe it's my tablet. I have a Wacom tablet. It's like an older version. It's the Wacom Create, but yeah, I wasn't really able to get very good results. Yeah. All right. So call you Monk. That sounds good. Monk or Monkey. Yeah, it was good meeting you too. Thanks for joining us, Monkey. Murad, you said something a black behind the tongue. It came out as bot a black behind the tongue. I just don't know what that means. But okay, so I think that looks pretty good for the most part. I think we're ready to start bringing this guy to life with the voiceover that we got, which I'm pretty excited to do, because now we're getting into the fun stuff. Last thing that I want to try to do is I want to try to fix this head into a mask. Okay, that's looking better. Cool. We were having issues with that before. It wasn't working on the earlier stream. Very good. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks pretty cool? All right, so that's not looking cool. What is going on up there? Dang it. Let's see if we can fix some more things really quick here. So head, I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna put that on a separate layer. I'm gonna just call this hair. Maybe that might take out that white stuff. Hair, paste it, and this is not gonna be masked. Don't mask this layer. There we go. I fixed that. Okay, so we got all of his head. Oh, I can probably do stuff to his hair too. Add some line widths. Make it look a little bit better. Looks a little bit better. Let's give some details to his cheek parts. I could move these around. No, I can't because they're not in the layer. But I was gonna say I could probably move these cheeks around when he's talking, but it's not in the layer, unfortunately. Just makes it more difficult. All right, so for the most part, I think that's looking pretty good. Let's give this a little bit more curved so it's not just straight. We'll kind of make it straighter there, but curved here. Let's make some patterns. Looks pretty good. Yeah, so I won't worry about the eyebrows right now. Those will need fixed. The legs look pretty good. He's got his arm. Oh, the microphone. I need to do the microphone. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to do the microphone. Maybe with circles with a stroke. Oops. Stroke. Make it a darker color. Can't even angle my strokes. That's going to make it difficult. Nope. Wow, this is gonna not work very well. I need to shrink down that first stroke. That's not gonna work. Dang it. I was trying to just draw wires to the contour of the actual microphone, but I don't think that's gonna work. Let's give it a shot at the freehand tool. I'm using a mouse right now, so these aren't gonna come out perfectly. But if I can get it looking good enough, then I'll just use it. Wow, that's off. Nope, that's not gonna work. Yeah. There's like a shortcut or something that you can do with all points connecting. You can delete all the points that are connecting, but I don't remember how to do it. But yeah, so I'll just delete that altogether. We'll work on a microphone a little bit later. One more thing. What if I add a stroke? I don't know. I'll just use that as a placeholder thing for now. The eyes. The eyes is one thing because I want them to blink. So let's go ahead and let's go back to the eyes really quick here. Those are going to be inside. Those aren't going to be masked by that, so don't mask this layer. However, they will be inside of their own group. Group of selection. Eyes. This does not need to be masked. Don't mask this layer. Well, yeah, these will be masked, but I need to create my eyelid. What I probably could do, I'm thinking real quick here. Your eyebrows are almost like connected on a line. Like if they connected through like a unibrow and you're moving around, they don't really disconnect. I don't know. Thinking out loud here. Just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with these thinking things, because I don't know what to do with them. Yeah, Caden. Yep, this is Moho. La Cuava says un saludo desde República Dominicana. Yeah, greetings. Bienvenido. Let's see. What's going on here? All right, I need to do a new save. Eyebrows. Oh, okay, sorry. So I was gonna do eyelids. I'm having a brain fart here. So I was gonna do eyelids for this character. I think that looks too. It looks like a Pokemon. I don't like it the way it looks with the little reflection in his eyes. Yeah, I do like it with the eyebrows because it does give him some like personality. But let's go ahead and let's create the eyelids really quick. So the eyelid is gonna go to the corners of the eye, above. There we go. And go ahead and flip that around so it goes the other way. Okay. So go around the eye a little bit. It's kind of at a little bit of an angle, but that looks okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that and I'm going to repeat it on the other side. Resize it. Move the eyelids over. There we go. All right, for the most part, I think that looks pretty good. And then we're just gonna give these a little bit of a darker color. There's already a lot of dark on this character. I need to make them look, maybe I can do a lighter color. Maybe that might look better. We'll see. We'll see if that looks better. So now I'm going to create a mask. So those will be hidden besides what's visible there. So I need to make sure that that's not visible at all. So I'm just going to drag those up above. There we go. Okay. Because I will be animating these in the smart bone, not on the timeline. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll create a smart bone for the, let's see, how did I do it for this one? Can't remember if I did it for the eye specifically. Nope, it was part of the head. Oh, something I wasn't checking is just to see if my strokes between the two characters look okay. I think that looks okay. Sí, yo sé un poco de español, pero ya tengo mucho tiempo de no hablar, entonces estoy olvidando bastante. Yeah. So I was just saying that I was forgetting a lot of Spanish. They were saying, "Wow, you know Spanish," and no, not really. I I've forgotten a lot. Funny thing is, actually today, so I served a mission, a 2-year mission in Nicaragua, Managua, Nicaragua, and today is what was it? I got back in 2011, so I've been home for 7 years. It's just crazy. It was a pretty big time of my life. I spent 2 years outside of the United States, serving a mission, and yeah, it's pretty crazy to know that I've been back for 7 years. Been back 7 years, married 4 years. I'm an adult. It's crazy. Being an adult sucks. Let's see here. Okay, we did the mouth. What am I doing? I need the eyes. Okay. So now what we can start doing, I think we're in a spot now where we can start rigging things. Oh, we were going to fix the microphone. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and let's rig the rest of the microphone up here. We probably can do come on, this tool, man. We can probably do a, what do you call it? Something separate for the actual microphone. I'm trying to think how to do this. No, unfortunately I can't. All right, so I was gonna do a mask, but it doesn't make sense too. I just need to get this part done. So I'm just gonna match it so that it matches the contour. I don't even know if I'm using the right word. So that it just matches the shape of the actual microphone itself. Make sure the stroke isn't ridiculously huge like that. Make sure it's the same size as, or the same stroke as that. Let's see if we can get this to work a little bit better. Oops, come on, come on. I don't know if that's gonna work. I can't get it right. Let's try a different microphone. Let's do, instead of one with like a thing like that, let's just do one with like a like the already has the, I can think of what they're called, but the thing to block out the noise has the little fluffy thing. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. We'll just do a different design more than anything. Cool microphone, dude. Don't want to make it blend in with his body. Dang it. All right. That's probably all I'm gonna do for that. I won't go into too much detail more with this this microphone. This character is only going to be on screen for like not even that long. All right. Doesn't look like a microphone. Sorry, bear with me. I just need to get this to look a little bit better. I don't really know what I'm doing. Looks like he's talking into a wand. Doesn't look like a microphone anymore. So I'm just going to keep the ball shape because that's just the most easily recognizable shape for a microphone. And just leave it as is. I think that makes the most sense. Oops. Just make this a little bit bigger. Nope, not too big because now it's not matching his face shape. There we go. All right. So going on 2 hours now. So the next thing that I need to do before I actually start rigging is I need to start adding in the highlights, the shadows, and all that good stuff. So yeah, we're gonna start doing that next. Just trying to take a look and see what else. Announcer. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think of if I should add highlights and stuff. If it's even necessary. I will say no. It's going to be easy to rig those if I don't add those. So I'm going to say no right now. And let's go ahead and start rigging. All right, so now we're going to get into a little bit more of a more fun thing to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my eye rig. So there's my bone. And I'm going to call this eye. You can really call this whatever you want. All right, so there's my eye. And the, let's see. I'm just going to do an open to close. So this is it, open. And then to the right, about whatever that is, 45 degrees, is closed. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my eyelids. And I'm going to close them. And I'll have to remember to add a stroke as well. I need to make sure that those are touching, or else that's going to give me issues. There we go. Same thing, need to make sure that those are touching together so that they can close properly, not leave any big gaps. And we're going to close that. I need to make sure I'm doing it right, like the other. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that I have the opening and closing in a better spot. So those points that I just selected, I'm just gonna hit Control and paste, and whoops. Oh, that didn't do what I think it was gonna do. So now I need to move those. I need to move those over to the side, if I can. No, I can't. That's why. There's some very loud banging outside. Bear with me. I'm going to be right back. We usually have people, we had like someone shoot a gun in the parking lot, shoot at someone else about a month ago. I'm in kind of a ghetto area, so bear with me. All right, nothing serious. Just someone moving out. We're on the 3rd story, and it's the 2nd story apartment that's moving out, and they got a trolley with a bunch of stuff, and they're just banging their way down the stairs. So that's cool. Okay. So there is the blinking. It looks like a little baby bird, which is not what I was going for. So I think that's where the eyebrows will kind of give it a little bit more of not a baby bird look. So next I'll do some like emotions with these eyebrows, or these eye bones. They're really not even brows. And I'm going to do that the easy way by adding bones to them. I need to create some sort of head bone. I'm going to create a head bone really quick. It's not going to be connected to anything. It's going to be connected to a root bone. But it's going to go the other way. So this isn't going to be connected. This is going to be connected. So this is just so I can quickly get something set up here. This head bone right here is going to be connected by layer to this layer right here. I think I can do that. But yeah, for right now, I'm just going to have that bone there just kind of floating there, so it just holds something in place. And then I'm going to go back to create a bone here. Select that main bone, create a bone here. So this just makes it easier to rotate on that pivot point of this bone and just move them up and down and just kind of move them around. I guess I could use a pin bone, but I'm not going to do that right now. All right, so let's do a new bone here. I'm going to call this one eye. There's another one that we'll create here. I'll call eyebrow. Eyebrows. Create my target thing. I'll have one way be like kind of upset, and the other way kind of be like, no, hold on. I'll have one. So what I'll do is I'll start the rotation in the center, so I don't have to create multiple actions. I'm just going to create in the center. I'm going to reset the angle. I'm going to go to frame 1. I'm going to reset the angle. I'm going to go to frame 48. I'm going to reset the angle. So the angle, oops, sorry, so not reset it, but so the angle on this has bone strength, which is why it's moving stuff, why I was moving that bird around. So let's take the bone strength off completely. So the angle is going to be about here, and then the angle here is going to be there. Okay, and so with that, what I'll do is, oh, I didn't bind these bones to anything, so I need to go back. I need to bind these bones to this, so I'm going to do point binding. Point bind. I'm going to select this bone, and I'm going to select this eyebrow. I'm going to point bind it. So that way, when I move these around, I'm going to remove the bone strength from these. So right now I shouldn't have any bone strength on anything. I don't need it for anything, as I'm just testing things. So now I'm going to go back to the eyebrows. And so this will be, so what I'll do is I'll raise these up to about here. Raise these up. Oh shoot. The hair's got to be a, hold on, I need to fix something. This hair that I created needs to be an actual shape so that it doesn't get covered by the bone. So, whoops. So I want to delete the shape really quick here and then bring it back so it's one entire shape. What's going on here? It's not connected. There we go. Go go ahead and turn my stroke on. My stroke got really messed up again, so let's go ahead and add that back. We'll take out this line. My color is off. There we go. So now it's its own shape, and it should be the hair. Oh, the hair needs to be above the eyebrows in the first place, so I gotta move that up above. There we go. All right, and that shouldn't be masked. It's not. Okay, so let's go back to the eyebrows and go back to the main bone layer. Okay, so now they're moving up. But what I want to do, so this is the default. And then what I want to do is I want to give it like kind of an emotion. So I'll leave the, what do you call it? The translation about the same spot for both of the eyebrows. So about there. And then I'll just give them like a motion. So I'll turn the eyebrows up a little bit. I'm gonna need to drop them back down, and then I'll drop them back down. So just in case he does like any eyebrow emotion changes. Oh shoot, something I forgot to do was set the rotation for those as well. So I need to set the angle, which is easy. It's just a button you push. So now we got this. Oops, this. I don't want to make it up so high. Yeah, that looks weird. So I'm going to bring these down a little bit lower. So that way they're kind of changing in place there a little bit. And then these I'll bring down like really low. Or let's see. I'm trying to think what emotions I can give this character. I haven't really developed a personality yet for this character. Maybe this is a bone to, or an action to give him different looks. I don't know. I think I'll just leave it there for now. All right, so go ahead and freeze all those poses. Okay, so now when I go back to the main line, the default, that's not right. There we go. The default should be this one. And then we got the upset. Oh, I need to set my bone constraints so that they stay in a better spot. I'm gonna move these bones around a little bit so they're kind of out of the way. So I'll move the eye. No, I'll move the eye here, the eyebrow over here. Make it a little bit bigger so it kind of matches size there. What did I say? That was like 45 degrees. Yeah, it's about 45. Go ahead and give the bone constraints to each of the bones here. 45. Okay. All right, so now when I rotate this, I hate when it does that. That might be a parenting thing, I don't know. Let me see what might be causing that. I know why. Let me go back to, it's following the position of my actual bone. So I'm gonna go back to the eyebrows. Yep. And I'm gonna reset the placement of where it's placing those. So it should be putting that 45 degrees that way. Good. And I don't know why, but it got rid of the other one, but I'm going to rotate it back 45 degrees the other way. And there it should be set in the middle. There we go. All right. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't pop now. And it broke my my animation. That's a bummer. I didn't think I had this highlighted. What the heck? All right, so I accidentally had that highlighted, or the bones highlighted or something, because I got rid of the wrong channel keyframes here. Maybe I'll just do this one of them moving up. Maybe that makes more sense. So this, gotta make sure I'm highlighting the right bones. So the reset, all that, reset there. Whoops, not there. So this way makes them kind of like sad. And this way just brings them up. So let's make them up a little bit higher. Just right above the eyes. Okay, so you can really do whatever you want. Yeah, I'm just doing basically whatever. So when it rotates this way, they go up. When it goes this way, they go sad. So I'll just use that as kind of like my emotions for this character. And then yes, so by default, I'm trying to think what's making it go to this spot right here. Maybe that's just the design. It's just holding, so by default it's there. Oops. So that's what I was thinking it was going to do, but it's actually having the default there. All right, sorry, I need to fix one more thing, because this is not working like I think it would. Come on, stop doing that. So it should be angry, so that's sad. Angry, not angry. And it might be better actually if I put these on separate. I'll just see how it goes. I'm not, this character isn't going to be doing too much. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. Now for the rest of everything else, I could start rigging that. But as far as the head, the mouth is going to be on switch layers. The head's going to be on its different eyes right there. Oh, I was going to add, what do you call it? Strokes. Oh, not this. I was having this issue last time. I was trying to add strokes. Let's see if I can hold its place with a bone constraint or something. Nope, I can't. Dang it. Because now I can't access my strokes anymore. It's on that stupid smart bone. Oh, there we go. I was able to grab it. Cool. So the stroke is going to be this color, but slightly darker, so you can actually see it. Hopefully that's not just for the eye, but I'll need to make it a little bit smaller. So it's going to be like 1.25. All right, and we'll just test it with one eye here. Okay. Looks okay. There we go. Now it's working right. Let's grab that. That's popping through, so I need to fix that. But it's gonna be 1.25. And now I'll fix the eyebrow so it doesn't pop through the actual eyebrow there. So just bring that up. Bring that up. And I don't know why it's showing up there, but it's not showing up in the render. I don't think. But it's just got this weird little stroke thing going on there. But other than that. Oh, why did I do that? So for this bone, I actually don't need that. I don't need that. So I'll just constrain it there, and then this is just going to be an open and closed. I think I put a stroke in the wrong thing. Grab that color. Yeah, I was doing it on the eyes, so I don't want any strokes on the eyes, just the eyelids. Okay, I think that looks okay. Thanks, Haunted. Been working on this for about 4 hours now. Can't wait to start animating it. It's very, I would say it's kind of like more stressful, like streaming the entire process of trying to show people how to design. And it's much more relaxing designing a character not live, because you can like fool with it and stuff. And I was being quiet for a while, just kind of streaming it, and I guess it doesn't really help because people want to know my process, my thought process and stuff. So that's why I'm starting to talk while I'm talking again. And yeah, it's just making it kind of difficult. Let's go ahead and move those over. No, that doesn't look right. I don't like where his eyes end up. I like it better there, but I guess that works okay. All right. Yeah, exactly. Yep. They have to see every little detail, or they get to see every little detail, every little mistake. I can bring this. Oh, what the heck? The eyebrows. Oh, I forgot to unmask those. Don't mask this layer. That way we can actually see what is going on. Eyebrow. Don't mask. There we go. There we go. Now I'll just have to fix that. So go back to the eyebrows, and I'm gonna fix what's going on. What is going on? Am I in the right thing? Yeah, okay, so I didn't have any points. Okay, so I'm gonna reset my points. Reset. And I'm going to put that there. And that right there. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Something's really wonky, like the eyebrow. It's only doing one eyebrow again, or the eyelid, I mean, not eyebrow. Very. There we go. Now I was able to grab it. So 1.25. There we go. So it's only doing one eyelid. And now it should look a little bit better. Yes, that looks much better. Okay, cool. All right. Haunted says, streaming anything creative is always stressful. Yes, indeed. Oh, because people see every mistake you make. Yep. Hey, greetings from Nigeria. Hey, thanks for joining. David, how's it going? Dave's been the one that's been cleaning up a lot of the audio, which I've really appreciated. It's good to see Dave for this animation. He's been helping out a lot, which is awesome. So shout out to Dave. Let's see. Where else was I at with this? Okay, so I think we're ready to start rigging now. So we got a really basic eye rig and eyelid rig, and let's just go ahead and start doing a full rig now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a root bone. And then this character won't be moving around too much. I do want to add some squash and stretch to his body. So actually, you know what? I'm going to move that down to about there. So like where he would be rotating, more or less. So about there. I'm going to add a bone here, a bone here. And then what I can do once I'm done is I can connect that bone that I just did. I'll delete this one. I can connect this bone back to this one right here when I do the parenting. But for now, I can just kind of bring it to right about there. I can actually snap it in better. There we go. And then going from his arm, I'm going to go ahead and create... I don't know if I want him to use his shoulders. I don't think... Yeah, he won't be expressing too much with his shoulders, this bird. So I'm just going to create his arm to right about here. Nope. Let's see. I can't remember where this arm goes below. So let me, oh, I need to fix that. So let's go ahead and fix that really quick. So you want to make your arms kind of like more rounded as they're, whoa, there's 2 points there. Whoa, what the heck? So just, whoops, deleted the wrong one. Wow, that's really dumb. Okay. Gosh. So now I need to fix that. There we go. Yeah, so just round off your arms. We can probably add another point here so that this doesn't go all the way up. So just kind of, whoops, kind of just stops right about there. Man, I don't know what this is doing. It's giving me like really buggy results right now. All right, so that's fine. Let's go back to the rigging. So that goes to about here, to about here. And then if I wanted to, I could add some bones for the fingers and such. But I'll kind of wait on that for now. So that's the only thing that's gonna be going on. The microphone's already connected to the hand layer. It's rigged in, or drawn in. So then I'm just going to bring that about to there. The only other thing too is going to be the legs. So again, I kind of wanted to add some target bones. So just something, his body has something to move off of. And again, I'm going to leave it like that because that's going to be all off frame, I've decided. So I won't even worry about what that looks like rigged. I'm going to create a target bone there. Target bones don't have any strength and they are not parented at anything. And I'm going to create a target bone there. Excuse me, same thing, not parented at anything. And then by default, what I do is I do flexi binding. So as you can see, I don't know what's happening to the head. Let's oh, the head's no longer bound to anything. So I need to figure out what happened to my parenting. Oh, it is bound to there. But for some reason it's, why is that dropping? Oh, that's really bizarre. I'm getting really wonky results with my eyebrow bones. I'm trying to think why that would be. They're both bound. Oh, this head bone isn't bound to anything. So this is where I need to parent the head bone back to, or is it vice versa? Yes. So that bone needs to go back to there. No. Crap. What? Maybe it's the other way. Maybe this bone needs to be parented to this bone. Oops. So unselect that bone, select it to there. Oh, dang it. I don't know why I'm forgetting this. Shoot. let's see, how was it originally done? So this originally, maybe it's, maybe I screwed something up with my smart bone. So this probably had a bone. This had a root bone there, and it did not have any strength. Ah, dang it. Oh, I don't know how far I went. Shoot. I messed it up. So I messed up my my eye thing. I'm trying to think why. Why would it do that? I'm thinking this bone, I'll have to work with it, but yeah, it's definitely not supposed to be like that. Let's go back to the actions. Let's see if it's messed up on the actions. It is. Okay. That's so bizarre. Shoot. Okay, so maybe this, so I'm gonna delete everything from this bone. Maybe that might fix it. Yay. Okay, for whatever reason, this bone, this head bone, had animation tied to it, and it shouldn't have anything tied to it. So that probably fixed it. So it wasn't the rigging, it was the smart bone. It's weird. All right. Well, at least that saved me time. Okay, so I undid a couple of things, so I gotta kind of redo what I was doing. So make a target bone. So I'm gonna go back to my bone parenting, create my target bones, and so now what I'm looking at is I'm just making sure that my targets themselves are working okay. Let's see. All right, so I'm just gonna look at the bones themselves. I want to do a little bit of a bounce, nothing too much, but I might need to fix his legs so I can make them work a little bit better. But we'll just see. And then for his arm, let's take that off again. Arm, that's working good. That's working good. Okay. So the skeleton part is, the bones are working good. So now I just need to bind everything. So to first off quickly bind things, just to get yourself a quick result, you're gonna just kind of go down the line here. So the head, when you bind a head with layer binding, it's gonna override flexi binding, but I think it still allows point binding. For everything that's inside of that. So right now I have point binding for the eyebrows, but as soon as I do a head, a layer binding for the head, if I had any flexi binding for anything else, it's gonna override that. But because this head layer is all part of one thing, I'm gonna just do a layer bind. Hopefully that made sense. So now when I move his head back and forth, the layer, the point binding for the eyebrows are also still going to be able to work, as you can not see there. Okay, so it broke that. That's not cool. All right, so a layer bind overrides everything, including point binding. So throw out the window what I just said, because that's very unfortunate. So now what I have to do then is bind everything, which is still not too bad, but layer bind everything that needs layer bound and flexi bind everything that needs flexi bound. So for example, the hair, that's going to be layer bind. The eyebrow, these should already be point bound, but I think it just overrode what I did before. Nope, it didn't. It's just being weird. So let me just make sure that's working again. They are. Okay. So layer binding on a group just kind of overrides everything. The eyes can be layer bound because they're not gonna override everything else except what's inside of them. So the eyes, the group, those can be layer bound to the head. The mouth is a switch layer, which can also be layer bound to the head. The white is this part right here, can be layer bound, and the head itself can be layer bound. So now when I move the head, all of the pieces inside of it should be moving. Great. These bones should still be working. Awesome. And yeah, so that all looks good. Now the only thing is your head doesn't move around a lot, but if I wanted to, I could probably fix this. This is a mistake. So this would actually go down like that. And then the arm should probably be above the head. So hopefully this works. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that arm right and I'm going to put it above the head layer. There we go. And I'm going to add in a point, bring back some, there we go. And that looks a lot better. So I had the arm in the wrong spot and just bringing it up fixed it. Sometimes if you're not careful and you're doing a lot of resizing and stuff on your actual layers and not on a point level but on a layer level, when you drag stuff in and out, it can offset it, or it can make it so that that layer will go way off to the side of the screen because you reset your origin maybe, or it just rescales it, and it takes a lot of time to get it back to where it was originally. And in those cases, that's when you just undo and then create a duplicate and then just use that as a reference, if that makes any sense to anybody. Okay, so all right, so the next thing is the body. So the upper arm left is going to be this one right here. So I'm just going to flexi bind it. So Control Shift F. I'm going to flexi bind it to that bone. The torso mask is part of the torso, but the yellow and these parts are two separate things. So I'm not gonna layer bind. I'm gonna do a flexi bind for each of these bones. So they're gonna be shared flexi binding for, whoops. I selected the wrong thing. So for the yellow, it's gonna be this, and also for the torso, I might need to do for the torso, I might need to do point binding with some, well, I don't know. It won't work with point binding because I want to do a squash and stretch. So I'll have to work with it. So that's it for that part for the, whoops, the torso. The lower arm is going to be flexi bound, Control Shift F. Leg left, I'm just going to do Control Shift F for all that. Leg right, Control Shift F. And the tail, I totally forgot about that. It's doesn't really even need to be there, but just so that it's connected to something, Control Shift F on the main body part. Okay, so now is the testing. So the root bone doesn't need any bone strength. And we'll just kind of move stuff around. But I did something stupid I did just there is I did Control Shift F, but the flexi binding needs strength. But for the tail, because I did that Control Shift F, which is the flexi binding for the tail, and I just took out the strength, it's no longer going to work. So it just makes sense to do a flexi binding for the tail, or a layer binding. It's getting close to dinner time. I should probably eat so I can think better. And actually, you know what? After this, after I get this rigged, I think I'll be done for today, unfortunately. I'm just not feeling up to it to keep going that much today. Okay, so as you can see there, the reason why this is moving is because I forgot to bind this. So I'm going to hit Control Shift F. All right, so that's now bound. So this isn't influencing anything else. That looks absolutely horrible. So I'm actually gonna have to do, let's see, what can I do with that? Let's do this. First mistake I made with that is not making this long enough. So now it's gonna be a little bit longer there. And then I'll just use what do you call it? Just like smart bones. I'll probably do a smart bone for that to fix that. So he'll be moving his arm a little bit. It won't be like a lot of movement, so it won't be like anything like this. So I don't really care what this is doing, but I still want to make it look pretty decent. Right here, I need to add a stroke. And the keyboard shortcut that I did to hide all layers for that particular group is Alt left click. And that's just gonna hide everything and then bring everything back in. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. This arm's not gonna be moving around too much, so that looks pretty good. This right here, let's see, why is it doing that? It's kind of going like up. I just want to make sure, I do want to make sure that his legs aren't bending in on themselves. So I'll probably have to fix that. Let's see if it does that on frame 1. Usually you get different results on frame 0 than you do on frame 1. Yeah, so right there, that's fine. I can totally live with that. So that's totally fine. So that's good. Going back to frame 0. So his back, whoa. His back and his body, there's not going to be a lot of bending. I really wanted to use these bones mostly for squash and stretch. So he won't be breaking off of his legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a bone constraint and set it to about 10 on each side, just so that there's not a lot of moving room. You can't wiggle around too much. He's still staying on his legs there. There we go. This right here, same thing. He won't be moving around. This one will probably move to about, I don't know, maybe like 15. Give him a little bit more area to wiggle around. Cool. Okay, so everything should now be rigged. I can bring this yellow, if I can select it. I can bring that yellow out a lot further. It's on a mask, so it doesn't really matter how far out, but just so it makes it look better when he raises his arm, that's kind of okay. I don't know if he's gonna be raising his arm. Again, I didn't storyboard out the actual announcer and what he'll be doing. But yeah. So the only thing that I would like to fix are these eyebrows. And then I think he would look pretty good for the most part. Yeah, for now I think that looks okay. Yeah, so I think for now I basically got everything all set up. I guess the only thing left to do is the squash and stretch. Make sure I got that pretty nailed down. So let's go ahead and add some squash and stretch. By default, it's going to give you 1. And the only way that you can really see how well it is just testing it. So I'm going to test out that. Okay. Looks pretty good. That's a pretty good number of squash and stretch. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a smart bone out of that, and I'm going to fix the squishing so that a lot of these parts aren't coming out a lot. And then from there, we'll pretty much be done. So first off, what I need to do, just go ahead and deselect that, is I'm going to create one more bone. I'm going to create it over here. No strength, no parenting for now. Excuse me, sorry. I'm going to do squash, stretch with a T. There we go. And do show label. Show label. Go ahead and create that. If it's right, it's right. Cool. And let's see. I'm going to do 2 actions. So there's going to be 45 degrees. Whoops, I did that wrong. So the angle, I'm going to reset that. 45 degrees this way. 45 degrees this way. And so this going this way. So first thing I need to do is I need to also reset these bones here. And I'm going to be doing the bone, what do you call it? Scale. So the bone scale is what I'll be messing with most there. So the first thing I'll do is I'll work with just one bone at a time. This will be the stretch. So there. Oops, I don't want to move anything. So there. So as you can see down there, it's stretching out the bottom of his body. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty good. Let's see if I can stretch it out just a little bit more. Okay, so it's this bone that's stretching out that, so I don't like that. I think that's pretty good. It's usually the squash that you need to fix a lot of stuff. So now we're going to squash it down. So let's actually select both the bones this time. Okay. So that's when you get on a point level. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go ahead and, oops, so it's the body. So I need to fix all the little points there that are coming out super far. Again, you want to still like maintain a size, like it is squashing, so you do want to make it squash down. Oops. But something like that's totally fine. And then I'm just going to reset these points so that they reset into place. So he's squashing down, stretching up, and that's basically it. That's really all there is to it. As far as the stretch looks good. Maybe if his arm was like moved out of the way. Let's see. Upper arm left. Whoops. That's the upper. It's this one. So if this one's out of the way, and if I wanted to get on the point level on the stretch to fix things, it's about like that. I mean, there's really not too much to it. Reset. So squash and stretch. Cool. Where's the arm? There it is. Okay. So yeah, so that's basically it. Again, there's not a lot of movement going on with this character. Most of the animation is all going to be in his mouth. And some of his head, I'll do a little bit of like moving around. I really didn't even need to use like all the squash and stretch that I put into the character. But it's there either way, just in case I needed it. Let's see, I don't want to squash and stretch that bone. What am I doing? I need to set these to 45s. 45 and 45. But yeah, as far as streaming, it's probably all the streaming I'm going to do today. I'll hop back on to this like later tonight, but I won't stream my process. I'll just work on it just so that I'm able to focus a little bit more. It's kind of hard to focus while I'm streaming because I'm constantly talking and I'm just like, I have like no energy today. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to wrapping up. So if you have any questions about what I was doing, definitely let me know. And yeah, and we'll go from there. Yeah, well, Jeremy 3D thanks for joining. It's the first time I think I've seen you on the stream, but yeah, for everybody else, thank you so much for joining as well. This is basically it. We finally got the announcer done, so I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Does it look okay? Does it match the style? The only thing that it doesn't have is like highlights and stuff, but other than that, I think it looks okay. I wish it wasn't such a dark color. I'll work with the color just so it's not the same color as this, but I wish the bird itself wasn't such a dark color, so I'll probably do something creative with the coloring to make it work a little bit better. But yeah, that's basically it for this stream. Thanks again, you guys, for watching. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. I'll be doing the majority of the work again off stream, and then when I'm on, you can ask me questions. We can talk about what it is that I was able to do. I can show you what I was able to do, and we'll move on from there. But yeah, so other than that, thanks again for watching, and you guys have a great day. I'll see you later.